And welcome back to Digital Trends Live. I'm Greg Nibbler, and again, thanks for joining us wherever you are. We appreciate it. Now, our next guest is known for so many iconic roles, whether it's Special Agent Dale Cooper in Twin Peaks or playing the mayor of Portland, Oregon. And now, alongside Ethan Hawke, who plays Nikola Tesla in IFC Films' Tesla, he has taken on the role of Thomas Edison. It's Kyle MacLachlan. Hello, Kyle. Thanks so much for being here with us.
Thanks, Greg. Thanks for having me on. What a nice introduction. Thank you.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Well, it's not hard when we're talking to you. So something that I wanted to bring up here just first is this film being about, two really iconic historic characters in Thomas Edison and Nikola Tesla, in addition to some of the other ones. What did you learn about these actual people from taking on this role?
Thank you for asking that. The research part of this process to me is very interesting, and I spent a lot of time reading about him, talking with Michael Almereyda, our director, about him, looking at photographs, looking at film actually of Thomas Edison, conducting tours of his laboratory, just photographs of him moving through space, and all that is really helpful to try to absorb and get into the actual person, the man himself. Along the way, I learned a few things. I guess he was very, very good at taking naps. He would be able to nap just about anywhere. He'd lay down on a bench in his workshop and take a little 20-minute power nap. And I thought that was interesting. He also had a very interesting quote. He's credited with saying that inspiration is 1% genius, 99% perspiration. But the one that I love the most is opportunity is often missed by most people because it comes wearing overalls and looks like work. And I think that that really sums it up. He was a workaholic, and just surrounded himself with super, super smart guys. And they together obviously have created a number of things which we are still using today.
One of the things, speaking of that, what they created in the trailer, it seems to blend kind of current technology with the technology of that period. How is it that the story is being told so that those two times kind of intertwine?
That's Michael Almereyda, our director, and the script. He decided that at some point in time during the development of the story that he wanted to be able to jump time a little bit. And he has a terrific partner in Eve Hewson, who plays Anne Morgan, and she operates as the narrator of the story, really. And she's the first one who breaks the tradition, and you see her opening a laptop and referring directly to the camera about these two men and where they were at the time, how well known they were, and even to today, how they are remembered. I also got to play with that a little bit when I pull out an iPhone out of my vest pocket. But everything is done, sort of without a huge amount of focus on it. It's sort of in the background. It sort of happens and then it kind of disappears. I think they're just subtle reminders and references to the fact that what happened then is still being felt today.
Well, and talking about that, kind of some of those parallels from there to now, and I'm just curious if you thought about any of the parallels between, say, Thomas Edison and Tesla back then to Elon Musk and like Jeff Bezos now and modern inventors, and if you see any kind of, direct parallel between those two.
Sure. I think it comes down to personalities, and again, someone like Tesla, who obviously brilliant, thinking of a world in which electricity could help humanity, but in a way that was so far beyond where anyone could imagine, that he was really almost a man ahead of his time. And you compare him to Edison, who was a guy who was very pragmatic, very much in the moment. Obviously he didn't invent the light bulb actually, but he made it possible to be commercially viable. So he created a better light bulb, if you will. And so he also invented other things, but he was really able to take something that existed and improve it and then bring it to market, which is one of his great skills. His business acumen was very, very high. Like a Bezos and like an Elon Musk too. Elon's sort of a combination of the two. He's got the brilliant mind and the ability to bring it to market. And I think above and beyond, there's a certain kind of a showmanship that exists in the men that you mentioned, like Edison certainly had a showmanship quality. He was able to present things not unlike Steve Jobs or Elon Musk. They come to the masses and they make these pronouncements, and everyone gets really super excited because they're so confident and excited about what they have. And that's something that's common in both time periods.
Something else I wanted to ask, you mentioned business acumen, and this is going to one of your side businesses, and that is your wine label, Pursued by Bears. And I had to ask this, what for Kyle MacLachlan are the most important characteristics of a damn fine glass of wine?
Well, it has to be from Washington State, first of all. That's where I make the wine. We started in 2005. And the idea all along is to make a wine of such a high quality that it can compete on the world stage. And we have that ability in Washington. We're the underdog. Nobody really knows about us yet, but we make wine up there that I will say is damn fine and worth a look.
Going from the wine to something, your iconic role that I had to talk about at the beginning there, Special Agent Dale Cooper from Twin Peaks. What is it about Dale Cooper that makes him so iconic to so many people?
Gosh, he really is a special combination of qualities, really. I mean, he's a stand-up guy. He's quirky, of course. He has great passion for certain things around him, whether it's Douglas fir trees, coffee, donuts, and friendship. His friendship, I think, with the character Michael Onkeen played in the original Sheriff Harry S. Truman. And he's the real deal, he's morally upright, straight shooter, and does the right thing. And I think someone like that can be very, very comforting. He's also the guy that you are okay with going into a dark place. And so he has that kind of confidence and strength of character that I think people just know that they can trust him and rely on him. And those are things that were very appealing, I think, to our fans. I mean, let's be honest, he's set in the wonderful world that was created by David Lynch of Twin Peaks, and that environment in and of itself is pretty special. But I felt like that as a character, he was really also the person that could bring in the audience, liaise with them, and carry them through the story in an interesting way.
I want to just a quick follow-up to that. What was it like returning to that role after so many years?
Well, it was challenging, as you can imagine, and a little nerve-wracking initially. I was happy that the suit still fit, though. That was a very good thing.
That's got to be a good feeling. Something we want to do here at the end is just kind of ask some quick questions and get your response on which side you stand. If you want to comment on it, great. If not, you don't have to. So when it comes to social media, TikTok or Instagram?
Oh, I'm old school, so I guess Instagram, if that can be old school.
And I've seen you post on TikTok, though. You've got some pretty good videos on there.
Yeah, thank you. I'm still kind of figuring out the format. So I'm excited by it, but I think I feel more comfortable with Instagram.
Cell phone or alarm clock?
I do cell phone. I like the idea of the alarm clock, though. I always feel like I need a backup. I always feel like I go with the cell phone, but the alarm clock is my backup because I know it's going to
go. All right. Knowing that you are a Seahawks fan, David Lynch or Marshawn Lynch?
Wow. I would like to see David Lynch run the ball through the line, actually. That would be very interesting. I think he could do it. I'm going to go, David Lynch. David Lynch, I have to go with David Lynch because he's my pal and my buddy. But huge appreciation for Marshawn.
Final, I've got two more here, just real quick ones. Space travel or time travel?
Ooh, time travel, definitely, but curious about space travel.
And final one, rosé or Jose?
Does Jose make tequila?
Yeah.
I'll go with rosé.
It makes sense.
I'll leave the tequila to George. That's what we'll do.
Well, Kyle, thank you so much for spending some time with this. It's just such a pleasure to talk to you. And I want to remind everybody too, the movie is out. Everybody can go get it. It's on digital, on demand, and in select theaters as well. So Tesla, check that out. And Kyle MacLachlan, thank you so much for being here on Digital Trends Live. It's such a pleasure.
Pleasure. Thanks so much for having me on.